Welcome back everyone to my low-level playthrough of Chrono Trigger. Last episode, Lucca broke Crono out of jail. But before we actually escaped the jail, we made a quick stop and save. Because right here, we're going to run into a pretty difficult boss. Difficult if you don't know what you're doing. Even if you do know what you're doing, it can be pretty difficult. This is the Dragon Tank. It's one boss was comprised of 3 different parts. If you read the memo, basically says that the tank can't be defeated until the head is defeated first. That's because the head uses a multi-healing attack here. Basically a spell, I should say, because it's not really attacking. So the goal is, of course, to destroy the head first. Unfortunately, you can't go all out on the head, because the head will attack with fire, the body will attack with missiles, and the most dangerous attack is the tank will run you over like this, which basically takes off half your health. So we're going to need Lucca to basically kind of, for the most part, be on standby to heal. Because Crono does about twice as much damage to the head as she does. So Lucca's just going to be our main healer here. Priority should be going to healing Crono, because Crono's in the front, so he's more likely to be targeted by the Dragon Head fire and the Dragon Body missiles. But sometimes the tank will attack Lucca, like there, with the head and the missiles. So in that case, we're going to maybe Crono going to jump in and heal. If you get lucky, you might get a few critical hits, which basically double your damage, which takes a round or off of the battle. But even without any critical hits, it's just a matter of patience and having a lot of tonics to get through. It'll get a little bit easier, like I said, once the head gets defeated. But we're going to have to pull out the calculator and do some calculations, because we want Crono to be defeated, knocked out at the end of this battle, so that Lucca absorbs all the experience. The body has 266 hit points, so that's what we're going to start with on the calculator. The grinder has 216, the head has 600, but the head has the lowest defense out of all of them. So you notice that Crono's going to basically be doing half damage to the grinder and the tank once he starts attacking them. Because they have just a much higher defense. But once the head is taken out, the battle becomes much more manageable, because there's no more healing involved. The tank will still run you over, which is why after you defeat the head, your next target should be the grinder. Get rid of the grinder, and then all you have to worry about is the tank hitting you with those missiles, and then counterattack. Once the head and grinder are gone, the body will counterattack with a laser. It takes off about 30 to 32 hit points, so that's easy to prepare for. Just don't attack it, and you won't get hit by that counter. You still have to, of course, wait for the missiles to hit you and stuff, but you know, by then it's just a matter of being patient. One thing you're gonna have to be patient with is, you know, I have to wait around a little bit, because my math didn't work out perfectly. So I wasn't able to have Crono attack the body and die in a counter hit. My numbers just didn't work out right. So I had to basically sit around for a few turns to let the missiles take Crono out. You see, Lucca does between 15 to 17 damage, so when the tank has less than 15 health, that's when you would want Crono to basically be taken out. He does about, you know, the mid-30s of damage. So if you get down to, say, like maybe like 40 health, then you can attack with Crono, have him die by the counter laser, and then have Lucca finish it off. But the numbers don't work out perfectly for me here, so like I I said, I end up having to spend a few turns just letting the tank finish Crono off with the missiles. This is going to be the way that a lot of bosses are going to be. We're going to basically get them into a state where they're manageable, and then once they're in the manageable state, we just have to keep track of their hit points and have Crono and any other party member die, and then give all the experience to a certain character to have them absorb it all. And that character will usually be the highest level character in our party. She's usually a character that we will a new character that we will receive during the story. Right now our high level character is Lucca. She will be considered our high level girl. Old low level Wakus, you had a choice to either have Lucca or Marley be the high level girl or the low level girl. Then future low level Wakus just decided, let's let Lucca be the high level girl, because then that way we keep Marley at the low level. It just makes it look a little bit more impressive at the end game, because your end game is going to consist of it's going to have Marley and Lucca, Crono and Marley as two of your three final party members. They're necessary for a triple technique. And right now, our characters just have single techniques, which is, just a technique they use by themselves. But when certain single techniques from different characters can be combined into double techniques, and even triple techniques, those tend to be maybe a little bit more powerful than the single techniques, or have a special function in battle. Sadly, we can't really learn a lot of techniques right now because we ain't getting these tech points because we're avoiding battles. Like I said, all the techs, eventually you're going to learn magic, and you learn magic through a special story scene, and all the techs that you would have gotten before you received magic, you'll automatically learn once you get magic. It unlocks them for free, so that helps out a bit. Ooh, we missed the shelter. Let's go ahead and grab it. Like I said, money's going to be tight even though we've done all that shelter grinding. We used quite a bit of tonics there. Usually about like 20 tonics or so. The worst I had was, I ended up using 24. Yeah, my capture card, because like I said, I'm playing this on the Wii Virtual Console. I play a few games on the emulator that I can have on the Wii Virtual Console, but this one was a Wii Console Virtual. But anyway, my capture card sometimes messes up, and so I end up having to play this battle 3 times, because I get to the next area, the future, and I don't know, it's just maybe because there's a lot of stuff going on, you'll see in the future that capture card wasn't really liking what was going on. It kept bugging out. So yeah, this is actually the 3rd time I had to defeat the dragon tank. So luckily we don't have another boss for a while, but the next boss we do have is going to be similar to the dragon tank, where it's going to be 3 parts. And we're going to have to rely on the old calculator again. So the guards try to stop us from escaping, but Molly stops them. So the guards are, I guess, conflicted between listening to the Chancellor or the Princess. And I guess the Chancellor wins out, because the guards force us to escape through Guardia Forest. And they prevent us from going to the town or back home. And we're railroaded over here to this open field. Why they decided they need to put a sign there to say that, I don't know, but in the open field we find another gate. And the party decides, hey, let's just jump in the gate. Lucca doesn't really want to because they don't know where the gate will take them, but Molly says, hey, anywhere's better than here. And the princess wins. I guess it doesn't help that the Chancellor and his soldiers burst through here. Now the interesting thing is, once you go through this gate, like I said, we're going to end up in the future, a future era, and we can jump back to this field, and it looks like you get away scot-free because the Chancellor and the guards won't be there anymore. But if you go over to the left, once you get back to that Y junction, where one takes you to the castle, one takes you to the town, the guards will reappear and force you back into the open field. So yeah, we're stuck here in the future for a while. Too bad we can't get behind that door there. It's locked. But behind that door is the wallet. Really important accessory because it turns all experience into money, and that'll finally allow us to get into random encounters and get money and techniques. Because there'll be techniques beyond the first magic spell that we learn. And basically those techniques are basically what's going to allow you to eventually be able to, you know, defeat a bunch of enemies besides without leveling. And equipment also helps too, so we're going to spend most of our money here on equipment. Small little increases the defense, but every little bit helps. It's not necessary to buy this equipment, but I'm buying it anyway, just because I have money to burn. If you didn't farm as many shelters as I did, you probably won't be able to afford this stuff, but it's okay. It just make battles a little bit more difficult, but we are going to get some more sources of money in a little bit. Whenever we get obsolete equipment, we can sell it. And we end up going to get another load sword and a load bow for Marley. So we can sell Marley's old bow, and then we can also sell that new load sword that we're going to get. And so we fill up on our tonics here. 90's good. There'll also be a chest coming up soon that will give us 600 gold. Quick save here. And I'm only saving the battles here in this Lab 16 area. They're all runnable, but what's annoying is these rats. These rats, if they touch you, they'll steal a tonic off of you. So you don't want to get hit by the rats all that often. Unless, like I said, you're losing just money. Money's going down the drain. Let's just avoid those rats. Like I said, the good thing is all these encounters are runnable. So just run away, and that'll avoid the experience. Another good thing is I used one in the one dome where I went and bought that stuff. But there's these things called Enotrons, and basically they function as inns. They will re-heal your hit points and tech points. And they're all free, so we never have to worry about spending money to stay at an inn here in the future. Just try to stay as far away from the enemies as possible. You don't necessarily have to touch an enemy to have them get into an encounter with them. Sometimes if you just get close enough to them, it'll trigger an encounter. Just looking for treasure here. Stay close to the mutant. This is an exception. If you go to the far, I guess the mutant has really bad near. He's very nearsighted. You can't see it when you're close to him. So there's our that dome right there. That's our goal. Before we head there, we're gonna head into the sewers here. Do not go to the left. There'll be an runnable encounter with these fishmen. We do want to go to the right here, because you can run from this encounter, which has a fishman and these like clams, and we can grab 600 gold out of this treasure chest. I don't know why there's 600 gold in this chest, because we bought that stuff off that guy in the dome, the armor and weapons. He was like, "You call this stuff money?" So I don't know, they must use something else in money, but we're gonna make a save here, and this is what we'll pick up in our next episode. Take care, have a good one, bye.